Welcome to Know It All, a place to connect with researchers to answer all questions on health, science, technology, business, culture, and more. This episode on What is Cubism was created for you by Blair. In this topic, Know It All will answer: what is the historical context of Cubism? What is Cubism? What is synthetic Cubism? What is analytical Cubism? What is Cubism's impact and influence? Art movements throughout history have shaped the way we perceive and appreciate art. One such groundbreaking movement that revolutionized the art world in the early 20th century was Cubism. Led by influential artists like Pablo Picasso and Georges Braque, Cubism challenged traditional artistic conventions, introducing a fresh perspective that captivated audiences. To understand the emergence of Cubism, it is crucial to explore the artistic climate and cultural backdrop of the early 20th century. The world was in the midst of significant social, political, and technological changes. Artists were seeking new ways to express the complexity of the modern age. It was against this backdrop that Cubism took shape, as a response to the limitations of representational art. At its core, Cubism can be defined as an artistic movement that shattered the conventional notions of perspective, form, and representation. Rather than depicting objects as they appeared in reality, Cubist artists aimed to present multiple viewpoints and dimensions simultaneously on a two-dimensional canvas. This approach challenged the viewer's perception and forced them to engage actively with the artwork. Cubism embraced the fragmentation of forms, breaking down objects into geometric shapes, such as cubes, cones, and spheres. By deconstructing objects and presenting them from various angles, Cubist artists sought to convey the essence and multiple perspectives of the subject. This approach marked a departure from the traditional idea of a single fixed viewpoint. One of the significant characteristics of Cubism was its analytical nature. Analytical Cubism, pioneered by Picasso and Braque, focused on the analysis and deconstruction of form. The artists would break down objects into basic geometric shapes and present them in a monochromatic palette, often using shades of gray and earth tones. This approach aimed to explore the underlying structure and essence of the subject matter. They employed techniques such as faceting and overlapping to depict multiple perspectives simultaneously. Picasso's Les Demoiselles d'Avignon and Braque's Violin and Palette are exemplary works of analytical Cubism. Another aspect of Cubism was the introduction of synthetic Cubism. In this phase, artists incorporated elements of collage and mixed media into their works. By combining different materials, such as newspaper clippings, fabric, and printed text, they created new layers of meaning and texture. Synthetic Cubism embraced a more vibrant color palette, introducing bold hues and fragmented forms, often blurring the boundaries between fine art and everyday objects. The impact of Cubism extended beyond mere representation; it delved into the very essence of art itself. Artists sought to capture the dynamic nature of reality, encapsulating the fourth dimension of time within their works. They achieved this by portraying objects from various angles and fragmenting forms to depict movement and change. Cubism's influence was not limited to the visual arts. It spilled over into literature, music, and design. Writers experimented with fragmented narratives and multiple perspectives, echoing the visual language of Cubism. Composers explored dissonant melodies and fragmented harmonies, capturing the spirit of the movement. Architects and designers drew inspiration from Cubist principles, creating buildings and objects with geometric forms and fractured surfaces. Cubism's impact on the art world was profound and far-reaching. Its influence extended to subsequent art movements and styles, shaping the trajectory of modern and contemporary art. Cubism revolutionized the way artists approached representation and form. By challenging the notion of a single fixed viewpoint, Cubist artists expanded the possibilities of artistic expression. They paved the way for abstraction and non-representational art, inspiring artists to explore new avenues of creativity. The legacy of Cubism can be seen in the works of artists such as Fernand Léger, Juan Gris, and Robert Delaunay, who were influenced by its principles. Elements of Cubism can also be observed in other art forms, including literature and architecture, where fragmented narratives and geometric designs echo the movement's aesthetics. Moreover, Cubism's influence permeated popular culture, design, and fashion. Its geometric forms and fractured perspectives became a source of inspiration for graphic designers, architects, and even clothing designers, who incorporated Cubist elements into their creations. Thank you for listening. For more answers to questions on health, science, technology, business, culture, and more, don't forget to subscribe to Know It All.